Hello, Will here, and today we are, well, as the title of the video suggests, here for a sneak peek. So we will be looking at a sneak peek of my next upcoming mod, which is going to be called Dark Moon of Elsweyr. Now, just a few things to note for this video, that obviously the mod itself is still quite early in its development, so there are going to be things that are not working directly just yet. So like, for example, the island itself isn't nav meshed yet, so obviously NPCs aren't going to be like walking around interacting with things and stuff like that yet, because there is no nav mesh on the island. Inside the houses there is nav mesh. Oh, it's getting water, okay. But yeah, inside the houses and the buildings, there will be nav mesh, so you'll see NPCs walking around there. But anything that's actually on the exterior of the buildings and on the island, they won't be walking around on that just yet. And obviously, other aspects of it, you know, are obviously going to be like subject to change a little bit. Though the changes themselves won't be big, you know, but there might be like a few like aesthetic changes to some of the interiors of the buildings, or some of the like areas of the town or settlements. You know, just to make them possibly just give them a bit more something into them, you know, just to make them look a little bit more alive, you know. So obviously bear that in mind, and obviously also, yes, again, PS4 limitations, so like LOD isn't going to be working just yet because it doesn't really work on PS4 because of limitation and reasons. So obviously take how it looks at the moment with just, you know, a little pinch of salt, because this still is early development. Now, just before we go to the actual mod itself, I will say this was not directly my idea. I want to put that out there. This wasn't directly my idea. I've come up with a story behind it. I'm the one who's making it. I'm coming up with the story, any little side stories, new lore, and this, that, and the other. But I have had a few people help me out with like some of the naming of the characters, because this will add in quite a fair few new NPCs. So I think, now if I can remember correctly, I've had name suggestions from Woofy Doggy, so thanks for the name suggestions there. Raven DMD, I think was his name, or MDM, or something like that. Unfortunately, I can't quite remember your username, but Raven, if you're watching this, thanks for the few name suggestions there. And also thanks to Dragon Blade Kal-El, who has also left me with some name suggestions for some followers who at the moment aren't implemented into the game. They're not implemented into the mod just yet, but they will by the final release be implemented. But also thanks for sort of like being the person who set this off, because it was Dragon Blade Kal-El who came up sort of like asked me about doing a, you know, would I be able to do a sort of like a Khajiit based mod, and sort of like, because there wasn't any like kind of like quest mods based around the Khajiit for PS4. There might be for Xbox and there might be for PC, but for PS4 there isn't really anything for Khajiits. There's not many mods to do with Khajiits, or specifically Khajiits. There's a couple, but there's not loads. I thought, you know what, I've just finished the garden reading, I'm free, let's have a go at it. So I just want to give a thanks to those 3 YouTube users there. So again, Raven, Woofy Doggy, and Dragon Blade Kal-El, for the little tiny snippets of how you've dropped in for this mod. But now with that said and done, how do we get to this mod? So when obviously this part won't change, you'll always get there in the same way. So to get to the island, because it is another island, and the island is called Aqua di Kaje, which, if my research is correct, in the Khajiit language means light of the moon. And to get there, all you gotta do is come to everyone's favourite place, Riverwood. You just want to go to basically to the west road, south road, whatever road, but basically this entrance on this side, and you're looking for this dude here. You are looking for Charon. Now, obviously, Charon, he's just a generalised NPC at the moment. He's not
Need something?
He's not directly interactable, but that might change, and I might give him stuff so he can interact with him a bit more, maybe. But you're looking for Charon, and all you're going to want to do is go to the back, and here we go. Open Aqua di Kaje. So we're just going to have a look down there. But just another thing quick to note, since as of at the moment, the island does have no nav mesh, my followers aren't going to follow me there, but they may appear in some of the buildings. So just bear that in mind as well. And here we are. So obviously when you first get here, there will actually be, you will instantly discover this marker here, which is just basically the way you get yourself back to Skyrim. So you'll discover that instantly. It's an auto load door, so you just have to walk towards it and then boom, you'll travel back. Now, obviously, due to PS4 limitations, there will be no unique map for this, which I know someone brought up about with the Garden of Eden mod. Again, I said to them, since it's on PS4, there are limitations, so unique maps can't be created for PS4 at least, anyway. So don't expect there to be a unique looking map, but it will be set up that icons will appear on this map just so you can fast travel around the island, because fast travel will be enabled for this island. But just to help out just a little bit, because I've took a note from some comments about that happened on the Garden of Eden, which was my last kind of like island mod. So it was like, for example, just to help out with a little bit of navigation so far, I've got a couple of icons here for the other two of the settlements on the island. Though you can't fast travel to them straight away, you at least get a general rough idea of where they are. But of course I will be doing a little bit more to help with navigation by putting in like dirt roads and trying to put some signs in or something just to help people navigate the island, because it is going to be quite a large island. But as you can see, here we are at a dock. Your first arrival at Dockland. So as you can see here, we got Hussar.
How can I assist?
Now obviously I will be changing some stuff about the NPCs. So I think at the moment they should be you should be able to speak to them about rumours. But I don't know, it could be something to do with my load order, it could be the fact that I haven't actually set them up just yet, because there's about 90, that's a 90, new NPCs in this at the moment, and there's still a few more NPCs to add. So might be some things that I've forgotten to do, so bear that in mind as well. But you got that guy over here, there, you got Kaya in here, we got a fishery. Now I'm not gonna be showing you every last little detail, but you got a fishery. You'll go in there, you'll bump into some more other Khajiit characters, which then normally most of the NPCs will have the rumours aspect to them, but some of them will be a little bit different as well. And then if you come up here, you can see up here we got another one up here called Riani, and then you got the boats. You can all move, see it all moving around. As you can see, yes, as you can see on the video now, there's the lost issue, and as well as obviously it's going to look a bit better than that, but obviously I still need to put in a lot of the mountainscape and stuff like that, so bear that in mind. But then, who was that? Dun dun dun. Well, over here we have an Ulsar. Hello, Ulsar.
This one needs something?
You can see Ulsar talks. Now I've done a little bit of research into the Khajiit themselves. So they'll obviously their models will obviously be based on the Sabercat. Again, PS4 limitations. It sounds like I hate using that as an excuse, but it's the truth. But there are obviously different types of Khajiits. So yeah, you have Khajiit as a general race, but you also have, they separate out into different breeds. So you have Kates, which is basically primarily what the Khajiit in Skyrim are. They are the Kate breed. But there are also the Kate Ras, the Dagi Ras, Parmeras, Senchi, and Senchi Ras, which Ulsar is. He is a Senchi Ra. There was also Alfiq and Alfiq Ras. And you will also actually bump into a few Alfiq as well, which the Alfiq are basically the Khajiit equivalent of a house cat. So we're going to have a little look in the Terra workhouse. Alright, here we are. So as you can see, it's like, for example, the nav mesh in here is done, and there's a bit of nav mesh around here and by the other door over there, where the nav mesh is actually finalized. So that's why the followers, for example, are actually able to follow me inside, but they won't follow me outside. But again, this is still early development. As you can see over here, we've got Cinder.
This one needs something?
Yes. Can you tell me about some rumours? Or are you a little bit bugged at the moment? Is it in load order? Is it something else I've got to try and figure out? Most likely something else I've got to try and figure out. So that'd be fun. You know, the Terra Workhouse, it's not a player home or anything like that. It's just a space. Okay, my Nix is on the table. Good for you, doggy. But, you know, as you can see, we've got here. You can see we've got...
How can I assist?
You see we've got Latry. And Latry is an Alfiq. Now, there still obviously is some work to be done to like AI packages of characters. But I will need to sort of like look into that a bit more myself, because AI packages is something I only know very basic stuff about. So I will need to look into that. I know, Kuzagron. You've never seen a Khajiit like that before, have you? But yeah, so what the plan is obviously for the people who are on the docks and stuff like that, for them to be on the docks between a certain time to a certain time, and then between a certain time and a certain time, be like 10 between like 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. they will be in here, and eventually will probably either just come into here so they come actually back inside, or basically come in here to sleep, just so they have some kind of like routine to them. The routines that these people will be doing will only be kind of a little bit basic, because I only have a very basic understanding of AI packages, but it just gives it like a little bit of life. But one thing we are going to say, now this technically is stealing, but nobody can see me, so we're fine there. So one thing you'll find dotted around the place is, I gotta find it now. Here you go. Is the hooded poncho. It doesn't give you any kind of armor rating. It increases your magic by 20 points. But it's a little hooded poncho kind of thing. It's just something I decided to add in, just for a bit of a laugh, bit of fun, and bada bing, bada boom. Alright, that's enough on the Terra Workhouse. Let's go and have a look at Terra itself. Alright, so slowly approaching Terra, which Terra is the sort of like the first kind of like small settlement you'll come across. But as you can see, you got a little bit of woodland. I mean, obviously I'll probably add a little bit more to the woodland at a point. As you can see, you got another path that goes up that way. And obviously we just carry on down here. As you can see, we are now approaching Terra. And here we are. Here is little Terra. So Terra itself is obviously, it's just a very small little kind of like little Khajiit village. And you can see they even have a goat. Hello, goat. But obviously you come here, you'll see that you'll see a few Khajiit standing around the place. You got another Senchi there, but a white Senchi. Let's get off the horse. Alright, so you come here, so you got Medra.
How can I assist?
I don't know, can you tell me about Terra? I know nothing about it. But no, so you come around here, and then you got Udra as well, and then obviously we come down here, for example. You'll see there's another Khajiit standing over there. We got this dude here. We got Jazra here.
How can I assist?
Who is a follower. Now, as of at the moment, in the way of planned followers, I got about 24 planned followers. And there is also at least 4 more followers I still need to create. So effectively, in the end, I think anyway, if I've got the original number correct, there will be a grand total of 28 followers. So that's 28. But obviously with that, one thing that will have to be bared in mind is for you to be able to access all of them, you will need the multiple follower system to be able to get any of the female Khajiits to be a follower. As
You walk on warm sands.
As there was never an option in the base vanilla game to have a female Khajiit as a follower. So that will be a dependency if you want to all of a sudden have a litter of Khajiits following you, But that's obviously entirely up to you. That's just obviously something to bear in mind. But obviously, when the mod's fully uploaded, obviously I will be putting in a description about it and this, to give people warning about it, to say, look, if you want to get these people to follow you, you're gonna need this, and you're gonna need this in place, and la 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 la. Let's have a little look around Terra. So you got over here, we got Telik.
This one needs something.
Yeah. Sorry, Telik, I just knocked over your shovel. Drinking on the job, are we, Telik? But as you can see, she's obviously tending to her little garden and all that. So then over here, obviously you got Ralik.
This one needs something.
So there's no cat. You got no cat there. Bump too. We got Najar's house. Then if you go over here, we got a Mulhar's house. Then if you go over here, we got a Rohar's house. Then if you run over here, there is Ree's house. And then if you run up here, we then have Buzzra's house. Then you got 5 houses to go to. There's an inn there, which we'll have a look at the inn in a minute. But also in Terra, you will come across the magic shop. So Mystic Moon spells. So let's just have a look at Mystic Moon. Then we got Mystic Moon spells. So obviously this is obviously a spell shop, and as you can see,
something.
Jurzat, I don't know how you pronounce that name. I probably completely butchered it. Is obviously, the person who you'll basically buy all your magic stuff from, And as you can see, if you have any at least Creation Club mods, it might work on other mods as well. I'm not 100% sure. But if you have any Creation Club mods, for example, that add in new spells or anything like that, you will see that he will also sell them. He'll sell the spells. He'll sell the robes. So he'll sell particular things like that as well. And then obviously you can just sell stuff back to him. Tra la la. He's a full-on spell merchant.
Until next time.
But obviously you could just steal everything if you wanted to. At the moment, nobody's going to do anything about it on the premise of because there's no crime system in place. That's something I'm looking at and trying to implement if I can. It's a crime system for the island, if I can anyway. no guarantees on that just yet. But yeah, that's the Mystic Moons. So, you know, it's a little insurance Mystic Moons. So what about the inn? Alright, and here we are in the Bronzed Senchi. So this is obviously the inn, and as you can see, we got a mobile here.
Until next time.
We have Yuki.
This one needs something.
Hello, Yuki. We got Ranger.
Needs something.
So we got, you know, you got Ranger as well. They got all that sorted out. Then you know you're bumping into some other people. So here you got Dura,
This one needs something.
and then obviously Slavka here is the actual
Yes.
is the inn owner. So he's the one you'll want to buy anything from. As you can see, we've got a Bronzed Senchi there. Look around. You got a Sian here as well. And then, you know, it's obviously it's an inn. So, you know, there'll be bedrooms. And the nice thing is, it's a storeroom. That's a nice thing, isn't it? It's getting a bit crowded here now. Yeah. But, you know, the inn is set up in such a way that, mainly because I don't know how to do it. But, you know, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to try and set up the inns to work how the inns should technically work, because I don't know how to do it. But an inn is just, you know, it's a place where you can go and stay quite easily. And you don't even have to pay for it. It's a free inn. I mean, you'll have to pay for anything you want to buy, obviously, but for sleeping in, yeah. Do whatever you want. I mean, obviously you can't take any of the drinks, like the mead, the spice wine, the firebrand wine, the milk, you know, and all that kind of stuff. You know, obviously it'd be classed as stealing. But you know, that's just a little quick look at the inn. So next we're going to go off to Thornclaw, which is more of what would be sort of like the main kind of town. So I will see you when I get to Thornclaw, because it's quite a bit of a distance away. Alright, here we are at Thornclaw. So again, at Thornclaw we have a little stable. Now we got Khajiit outside the stable house. There's a Khajiit inside the stable house. There's a couple of horses that actually, as about the moment, are just free to take. They're not owned by particularly anyone. Come over here, we do actually have a farmhouse. And then round the back of the farmhouse, you got their little sort of like area where they're growing all their crops. A couple more Khajiit farmer people in there. Then you come up to the grind mill. There you got another Khajiit farmer here. Then if you come to here, you know, you got their cows and some of their goats. You know, just a little bit of life. So we're not going to look in the farmhouse because, you know, again, I want to leave some stuff for people to look at when they download this, if they see this video. But, you know, we got a Khajiit guard here. You know, he just stands there to keep guard. And if we come to here, no, let's get off parodies from here. So, you know, obviously we got to respect the dead a little bit every now and then, aren't we? So, we got a little bit of a graveyard here for them. You know, anyone wants to try and remember them or whatever that, which is tended to by Crow. Hello, Crow. And then obviously, you know, over here we also have the Thornclaw Temple. You know, here we are. There's the temple. You know. Now, there are obviously some things I still need to fix. It's just because of how I set up some of these areas. So, for example, if you were to look there, lay down. If you just look there, sit. Now, technically, what he's supposed to be doing is that. Technically, this is what he's supposed to be doing. But for some reason, it's the way I've got it set up. Is at the moment he will float like that, but then when he gets off, and if he goes back on it again, he'll be set to the way that I'm set. Why that is, I don't know. At the moment, it's just Skyrim being Skyrim. But if you don't feel like sitting, you can always just have a lie down. No, you can always just lie down there instead. Yeah, just chill in the temple. But who runs the temple? Well, the temple runner is Skier. Hello, Skier.
This one needs something?
Yes, I need to know. How do you pull off this magic trick? I must know. But also, something else that has actually been added into this is a new shrine. Now technically, obviously the design is based off the Shrine of Akatosh. But as you can see, it's the Shrine of Akka. It's not Akatosh, it's Akka. But maybe activating the shrine normally just by looking at it, it's a bit boring. So if you want to, you can look down. If you go out into this view, you can see you actually will pray at Akka. But the good thing is, in this situation, you can still activate the shrine. There you go. May Akka light your path. Now, so what Akka's blessing does is, let's see if we can find it. Akka, where are you? Akka. Blessing of Akka. Increases your health by 100 points, increases your magic by 100 points, increases your stamina for 100 points for 7 hours. Or basically, I think it's set to 8 hours, but obviously the clock's already started. So it increases all your main stats by 100 points for 8 hours. So not a little bit of a powerful one, that is. Good old Akka. Bro, so let's continue to have a look around. Have a look around at some of the other buildings in Folklore. So obviously over here, as you can see, and we got another dude here, on Medesi. But as you can see, that you got a bunch of houses. Now all these houses, they all have technically people inside of them. Well, Khajiit inside of them, shall we say? But you got a little Alfiq over there. Hello, little Alfiq. As you can see, so we got Tesh's house there. If you go up here, we got another Alfiq here. We got another one called Safara. We got Jabari's house. We also have Afri's house. There was also Jadato's house. And there was one more house, I believe, because this is Tesh's. Yes, that's Tesh's house. But also, we have Abandoned Home. But we're not going to look in the Abandoned Home because that is going to be part of a little kind of like side quest thing that comes in. It's not now, any of these quests are not going to be like set up in like, they're not going to be set up like this, but they are going to be things that you can learn about by finding books or reading notes, and then you have to put the information together to figure out where to go and this, that and the other, But obviously they will be written out in a story kind of way, as well as trying to give some kind of at least clear enough direction of where you need to go. But so that is a spoilery do for a little tiny side quest that will actually be added into this mod. So that's why we're not going to look inside, because the house itself is all set up. I've just got to set up everything else. But if you come over here, you got a nice bright garden. Holy God, this is so bright. It's so lovely and bright and luscious. And if you come around, you got little old Shinari. Hello, Shinari.
How can I assist?
So Shinari here, for example, will be a follower, but as of at the moment, she isn't set up. None of the people actually in Folklore are actually set up as followers just yet, but they will obviously be set up as followers in the final release. So in Folklore as well, there will be merchants. So over there, you've got a blacksmith. You've got an inn just over there. You got the bathhouse just over there. And here, we got the other general shops. So we got Madri here, but we also have Two Moons Trader, which is like a general merchant. We got the Moonflow Chemist, which is basically your apothecary or your alchemist. And then over here we got the Elegant Palmar. Now, obviously we've all seen alchemists and we've all seen general goods traders, but the Elegant Palmar, what is the Elegant Palmar? So let's go and have a look, shall we? And here we are in the Elegant Palmer. So as you can see, the Elegant Palmer is actually a clothes shop. It's where you come to buy clothes. Now obviously the ones on the mannequins, obviously they're not set, you know, you can't actually interact with them, they're just obviously display. Now, I mean, you could go stealing all the clothes if you want, you know, but maybe you don't want to be an asshole. You know, maybe you want to be a good citizen and actually buy it. Well, if you want to go and buy anything, you need to find the shop owner. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Hello, Julie Ha. How are you, Julie Ha?
Need something?
And then if you obviously go to Julie Ha,
Take a look.
yes, you know, you go and take a look, and then as you can see, Julie Ha just basically sells pretty much near enough every single kind of piece of clothing. So for example, you can buy embroidered garments, embellished robes, fine arm guards, fine raiments, fur-lined boots, fur-trimmed cloaks, hammerfall garbs, merchant stuff, miner's stuff, monk stuff, mourner stuff, a whole bunch of necklaces, noble clothes. If you have any Creation Club mods that add in jewellery, Julie Ha here will most likely sell them. You know, so you can buy a whole load of clothing from Julie Ha, as well as all the stuff for children, all the children's clothes. But you can also sell a load of your stuff to her as well, technically. You know, so Julie Ha here is into the fashion scene apparently. You know, but yeah, you know, and then obviously you just go there. This is where she sleeps, and back there it's like just a small little storeroom kind of thing. You know, tra la la la. So let's go and have a look at. I'm going to look at one more building, and I'm also going to mention about one more building. So the building I'm going to mention is this one here. Now we're not going to look at it. I know I'm ruining your day, but no, we're not going to look at it because the building I'm looking at now, this will be the player home. But currently at the moment it is locked. Because, you know, you're not going to move here and just get the key and then, or just move into the house straight off the bat. No, you have to get the key. Now, how you get the key, I'm still trying to sort that out. But you will need to get the key to actually get into the home. So technically, I can't actually look at it anyway, because I can't actually get the key right now. But this will be a player home. And here we are. Out of all the ones you could have chosen to use fridge, you have to use the one that's set for the player. Not for NPCs, but for the player. You annoying piece of furriness. But, you know, doesn't matter, because if we go along here, for example, if you'd like, you could just have yourself a nice lay down next to the bathhouse. Now you can either lay down next to it, or if you want to, you can actually jump in here and then you can have a good old sit down. You know, have a good old sit down, soak in the bath for a little bit. Or if you want to stay away from everybody else, you can just have a sit down there. Or if you don't fancy getting your, you know, if you don't fancy getting your, let's have a look. Yep, you know, if you don't fancy getting yourself a bit wet, you can just, you know, you can just lean on the rail. There you go, and just look at the water instead. But also, if you don't fancy that and you fancy something else, you come over here. You just stare at the fish tank. Hello, little fishies. How are we, little fishies? I'm surprised that you haven't been eaten since you're in a house that's full of cats. You know, so that's, you know, a little quick look at the bathhouse. Obviously, this kind of thing I will be trying to see if I can figure out why they're doing that, and it's not 100% sure as to why they're doing it just yet. But obviously, I'll try and see if I can figure that out. But yeah, no, obviously, if you come out here, then you know you got Kasha, and we also have Biogo. Hello, Biogo. All right. So the last place we need to go to is Parlet. after we say hello to Duraz. Hello, Duraz. So, yes. So now, obviously, we need to go to Parlet. Which, obviously, Parlet is all the way up here. But unfortunately, there's no straight road to Parlet just yet. It's not been in. So, it may take me a bit of time to actually get there. So, I'll see you when I get there. Alright, here we are at Parlet. Took me a little while to get here, but finally found it. So we're finally at Parlet. So let's just go and have a quick run down here. Let's get it on the map. And kaboom! And here we are, Parlet. So let's have a little look around Parlet. Well, you can see Parlet is a slightly different kind of style town. It's not really, it's not the kind of town where,
Yes.
there's a lot of big influence. So you got one building here, you got a building there, you got a nice bunch of houses here. There you go. You got a bunch of people there. You got a couple of Khajiits here. So we got a Jiera, we got a Jodher. We got another outfit down here. We have little Tadara, and over there we have Big Gazara, and over here we have Muhaba. And Woofy. Hello, Woofy. We have Woofy there. So for example, here, if you come to this up to here, we have a blacksmith. Hello, Nadri.
Yes?
So you got Nadri, the blacksmith.
May you walk on warm sands.
But also you can also go into the Iron Tailor. And here we are in the Iron Tailor, run by Sajar. Hello, Sajar. Now, obviously, with him being a blacksmith, obviously he's going to literally sell anything blacksmith-wise. Now, some of these things are interactable just because of how it's set up. But, for example, here you go. Here's his emblem, or whatever you want to call it. It's a statue thing. There, you got some map against the showing off some of the armors. But as you can see, its decoration itself is not overdone or overly prettified, if that's even a word. Because this is just a small little village that's going to be out in the woods, basically. So they're not gonna, so they're not always going to have all these extremely nice things and stuff like that. They're much more simpler folk. So they're gonna just have some of the basic stuff and stuff like that, but they got enough to get them by, and, so they, get them by, so they can live and stuff like that, you might also find some little hidden things like this. So they got, so up here you got actually a wedding sandals. There's also a wedding dress and a wedding wreath, just to sort of to incline that Sajar and Najri are actually a married couple. So you might find little tidbits like that as well dotted around about people who are married, people who might actually hold some kind of secret and stuff like that, which sometimes those little secrets might actually lead you to a small side quest of some sort. So that was the Iron Tailor. Oh, I literally just missed the rain. That's alright then. Oh, well, it's still fun though. So up here we got the Church of Akka, which should be sort of it's a bit like a lock-up version of the temple, or the Thornclaw Temple. But but if you go there, you'll bump into some Khajiit in there. You got over here it's actually a general goods store, but it's just called the Parlet Trader because they have no need for a fancy name. There's a trader in a small village. But what you can always do is you can always come over here, and as you can see out here, we got Dune and we got Jarrow. So,
How can I assist?
now Jarrow, I believe, if I got it correctly, Jarrow and Dune will also be followers, but of course they're still yet to be set up. But you also got their inn, the Drunken Mane. You know, so obviously, you know, you're gonna come in here. You're gonna see a few, you know, just a few Jeep about the place. So we got Madara, Madarai, or Madari, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Maha, Sahara, Darik. Which obviously Darik is the owner.
Alright then.
You know, then again, this will be 7 same as the other inns. So technically, you come here and you can just sleep in the bed whenever you want. If we obviously go over here, we got the chef. Let's close the door.
How can I assist?
And as you might saw there, the chef is called Oral CJ. Hello, Oral CJ. I never knew you were a chef.
Yes.
But if you want to, you can also buy stuff from him as well. You know.
May you walk on warm sands.
You know, it's just, you know, it's just a little kitchen. You know, but the Drunken Mane, it's like a very you know, it's a simplified, like, village pub. Alright, so we're going to have a look at like one or two houses as well, just to, so you can see what it's like for people living here. So I don't know, where should we go, goat? You know, let's go to the house that has the dog on the outside, that has Woofy Doggy outside, or Woofy Dog, as it will be known as, Woofy Dog. So you know, here we have Mohaba's house. Yeah, so you're coming here. And as you can see over here, we got Tazani. And then over here we have Muhammad. And there is one Khajiit on the outside, which the Khajiit on the outside is basically is Muhammad. But you know, again, the houses, that you know, okay, this is actually quite a sizable house. But you know, it's not overly decorated, it's not completely and utterly cluttered. Because again, you know, these are more sort of like a more simple living kind of folk, you know. So they're not going to have like loads of fancy pottery and fancy this and fancy that all over the bloody shop, you know. You know, they leave a nice, simple, but quaint life. And then here we find ourselves in Ashney's house. There you see, you got Ashney over here. Hello, Ashney. You know, so again, you know, a very, you know, sort of like kind of similar style. But as you can see, Ashney does have some stuff here that's a little bit different. For example, they may not see in the other houses, but that's because, for example, Ashney herself will be a follower. Obviously not working just yet, but will be a follower, you know, and that kind of thing. So sometimes what they have in the house will kind of like indicate what kind of person they might be, whether they're going to be someone who's just a random NPC, or whether they may actually be potentially a follower kind of thing, you know. But yeah, so you know, that's, you know, so there, you know, you've had a little kind of like sneak peek at some of the areas. Obviously I haven't shown everything off. That's because I don't, well, you know, but I don't want to show everything off. You know, I'm not going to go into every single house, every single building, this, that and the other, because obviously I'll be here for ages if I do that. I mean, I probably have already been here long enough. So yeah, obviously again, this is still kind of quite early in development, so obviously things will be subject to change, though like in like the villages and stuff like that, the changes will be sort of like more aesthetical changes, you know, and you know, things might just have like a bit more detail added in some areas, maybe, and you know, just little things, just to make it seem more like it's being lived in. And obviously nav mesh will be done by the final release, so then everybody will actually be walking around, interacting with like invisible markers that are around the place. So you know, they'll be like leaning up against the wall, sitting on the ground, that kind of thing, you know. And obviously but there's bugger all I can do about that. So what else is going to be added? You know, what else am I adding in? So obviously in this video I'm not going to spoil anything to do with the actual story that I've come up with. You know, I'm not going to spoil any of the story, but there will be what is classed as the main story, but there will also be some side stories that you can find if you look in the right area, or basically check the right people, shall we say, by being all sneaky like, or buying things. You could buy things. You'll eventually be able to buy stuff from the merchants, like books, that will lead you to other little side quests and stuff like that. So there's going to be a few of those dotted around in there as well. Also, I also still need to build a lot of the exteriors for some of the other places that you'll find. So, for example, there will be some Akaviri structures that you'll come across on the island. So you'll come across a few Akaviri structures. There will be caves. There will be some caves. There will be some mines. There will be some tombs. There will also be a Dwemer area. Which all I'm going to say about the Dwemer area that I'm thinking of in my head at the moment is, think of it as a mini Blackreach. That's all I'm going to say about the Dwemer area, is think of it as a mini Blackreach. But you'll have that stuff added in. There will be some sub-bosses for you to fight. There will be, obviously, eventually there will be also stuff like, there'll be more docile wildlife, hostile wildlife, this, that and the other, and all that kind of stuff implemented in. But obviously that takes a bit of time. So obviously, if I was to give a release date for this, I have no idea. But it is probably still going to be a good maybe 3 or 4 months before I can think that I could actually release it, kind of thing. So it's still a fair few months away. So if anyone's interested, yeah, unfortunately you are going to have to wait a good 4 to 5 months before it's released. More than likely. It depends on how much time I can spare, because obviously I have to mix doing this with work, with doing things that I want to do, this, that and the other, and la 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 la. But hopefully in about 4 to 5 months time it should be finished. But obviously but if anyone does want to know, you can always just ask me. So you can either ask me in the comments below, or either in this video or in future videos, or you can follow me on my Twitter, or send me a message on my Twitter about it, or you can join onto my Discord and ask me about it, as well as also get possible like small little updates to how everything is going, what's been done, what's still to do, and just ask general questions for it. But once again, I do want to say thanks to Woofy Doggy, Dragonblade Kalel, and Raven for all the little tidbits and name suggestions and ideas that they've given to me whilst I'm whilst I'm working on this, and to begin starting work on this. And so yeah, thanks for that. But that's it for this video. That's it for this sneak peek, which is actually probably kind of a longish sneak peek. Actually, it's probably kind of a long one, this one. But that's it for this one. So if you like this, please remember to like and subscribe, and to share this video with some of your friends, whether it be with them via Twitter or Discord or whatever you share them, however how you share them. And of course, if you got any questions, or if you want to leave any mod suggestions for future videos, or if you want to, again, ask me any questions about Dark Moon of Elsweyr, or if you want to like include yourself in the ways of like adding some names to characters, put them in the comments below. I'm always checking out my comments every now and then just to see what's going on. But so until the next time, I'll see you all later.